First subject of the day. There was a flurry of activities on Wednesday at the Secretariat of the All Progressives Congress as presidential, governorship, and senatorial aspirants picked their expression of interest and nomination forms for the 2023 elections. Governor of Ogun State, Yahaya Bello, was the first to pay the 100 million naira required from potential presidential aspirants, picked his forms and was received by a crowd of party faithful and support groups. Abdullahi Balarabe Salami is aiming to take over from Governor Tambuwal of Sokoto State. House of Reps member Abdulrazak Namdas wants to govern Adamawa State. And Dayo Benjamin Lani, who is running for the FCT senatorial seat, also picked their nomination forms.
Today we have picked our intent and nomination form for the position of president or presidential flag bearer of our great party, the All Progressives Congress. And by the special grace of God, I am confident that I shall become victorious and the party shall become victorious.
All we want is to fight the imposition of candidate. We must allow the right candidate, the candidate that people want to lead them. If I am the one, God knows, and He will make me to be. If I am not the one, we ask Almighty Allah to bring somebody who is better than me to lead so good. No, a good Muslim will never do or die. But when we are do or die for the imposition of unqualified, unpopular candidate in the state.
She who dares that I'm an agent of true purposeful change. First change is advocacy for women to run and not fear. One, so I'm running. And just by running, I'm accomplishing the first advocacy. Okay. Now, the next thing is taking the constituency that I represent, the Federal Capital Territory, and truly establishing the concourse of that FCT charter as a charter for one, a charter for all. That which has been marginalized and not addressed like it should have been must be addressed. I celebrate it as an exceptional investment by the party and by the intentional interest of this present leadership for the APC and extended through the APC to our presidential representation through the wife of the president, Aisha Buhari.
By government, by the special grace of God, will first of all dwell on creation of jobs for youth and try to improve on the economy of the state. We want to ensure that the education is also key in our state. I am also a young person. I will require the fact that I give back to the youth.
In the meantime, Modele Sarafa-Yusuf, a governorship aspirant on the platform of the All Progressives Congress in Ogun State, has accused the state government of ordering the removal of her campaign billboards in the state. Sarafa-Yusuf was the first aspirant on the platform of the All Progressives Congress in Ogun State to announce her ambition to become governor of Ogun State in 2023. In a series of tweets on Friday, Sarafa-Yusuf alleged that the state signage agency, sources said, the billboards were removed on the orders of Governor Dapo Abiodun, the incumbent governor of Ogun State. Well, as you know, Modele has been a dedicated contributor to this program for a fairly long time. Now she's here with us. But on a day like this, we will give her a chair on the other side to be our guest, as together we try to interrogate this weighty allegation and our vision and our ambition for Ogun State. Modele Sarafa-Yusuf, you are welcome to the program. It's good to see you on the other side.
Thank you very much, Ruben. It's surreal to be on this other side.
Yes, but first, today is Labor Day, May Day, Workers' Day. What does it mean to you? Do you think in Nigeria at the moment it should be a day of celebration or a day of reflection or both, or a day of expression of sadness? I've been watching the proceedings at the Eagle Square in Abuja. I listened to Aliyu Waba, comrade, president of the NLC, who is going to be our guest also today on this program, Quadri Olaleye, TUC president, and the very robust response by the vice president of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. I started rushing down when they started the march past. But what are your thoughts on Workers' Day?
Well, it is a day of reflection in my mind. The Nigerian workers have endured so much. There is so much that needs to be done to make their lives better. The fact that the economy is what it is has eroded their take-home pay, which was barely enough to take them home in the first place, as they used to say in the civil service and in the public service. And the fact that our country is where it is now in terms of security and all those other things, it makes it a day of reflection, in my opinion. But then again, when you're alive, you celebrate. Whether it's called the International Workers' Day, May Day, or Labor Day, it is a day for us to celebrate the hardworking people all over the world who contribute to making the society what it is. And so we wish our workers a happy Labor Day.
Okay, fair enough. The labor of our heroes past also shall never be in vain.
And we hope that they reap the fruits of their labor.
Yes, well, quickly. In March, you declared your intention to run for the governorship position in Ogun State on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, APC, of which you are a member. Now, what is the motivation? What's your vision? What do you want to bring to the table in Ogun State?
You see, Ruben, Ogun is destined to be a successful and vibrant state. But it has sadly been plagued by apparent inefficient allocation of resources. And the smallness of the politics in that state continues to amaze me. It has stunted our growth, leadership, there's deficiency in leadership, and I realize that we all can sit on the sidelines and complain. 60% of the people are talkers, 30% are critics, and only 10% are doers. I decided to join the 10%. I understand the issues. I know the things that our advantage as a state is in land, natural resources, our very educated people, and proximity to Lagos State, being the commercial capital of Nigeria. But some of these things have not been properly harnessed to the benefit of our people. And another thing is that our youth, which constitute about 70% of the population, depending on what estimates you're looking at, they are under so much pressure. There is unemployment, underemployment, and these things, there's a nexus between these and the very serious insecurity that we're witnessing in our state. All of these things, as I said earlier, we're not allocating our resources properly for human capital development, for example, while we're prioritizing highfalutin vanity projects. And for me, that's important. That's something that we can remedy that and move forward positively into the future.
Well, listening to you, one can easily say you are criticizing the incumbent administration of Prince Dapo Abiodun in terms of the allocation of resources and priorities. And some people may even be surprised because you were part of his campaign, 2018, 2019. You were later appointed special advisor media for his
information and strategy.
And strategy, okay, special advisor information and strategy. Both of you are from the same town, Ikperu Akeson. Okay, both of you grew up together. Okay, right, more or less, in the same community. Right.
Well, we went to school together.
You even went to school together.
We didn't grow up together, but we went to school university together. Yes.
Okay. So, what is it that he has done wrong that you don't think he deserves a second term, and you want him out of the place so that you can make your own contribution? What happened?
When you say what happened, nothing happened. As you said, I was a key member of the campaign organization that worked towards the actualization of his ambition. I have no regrets doing what I did at the time, because we had a situation in the state where things weren't going well, and we thought we needed a fresh blood. But I saw very early on there was a deficiency in leadership. And as a keeper of the manifesto, because we wrote the manifesto for this government together, we had a plan. We wanted to do this and that and the other. I noticed also very quickly a derailment in the direction in which the government was going. And when you say I'm criticizing the government, I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying what I feel. And if I thought the government was doing very well, I wouldn't have any moral right to stand up and say I want to do it better. That said, lastly, there was and there is a big deficiency in relational integrity. You know how people treat other people, and I will not sit on this program to psychoanalyze anyone, but once you see the toxic pattern that I saw, you can't unsee it, you know, unfortunately. And while I was a member of was in the cabinet as special advisor on information and strategy, not many people knew that I actually resigned less than a year into the administration. That resignation was refused, apparently because, you know, I was doing my job as well as I've always done anything that is assigned to me, and secondly because it wasn't going to be looking good that a key member of the administration was resigning so early in the life of the administration. Also, when I was prevailed upon to remain, I remained there, and you know I was doing things as was assigned to me until I resigned a second time to run for governor. So there are many people also who walked away quietly without any fuss. But beyond that, I decided to run because I understand the issues, I understand what needs to be done to make things better. I have no personal animosity against the governor, despite how this looks. I really don't. As I said, we are from the same community, but, and someone said, so what I guess you're asking is why am I running against someone from the same community as me?
Three of you from the same community.
Exactly.
Now
So it just,
are in the position.
It just shows.
You guys have forgotten that there are other people in the
It just shows you how truly blessed Ikperu Akeson is. We have such wonderful people in our town who have leadership qualities and who want to deploy those leadership qualities to for the good of our state. So. The more the merrier. So when people say why, I say why not?
But you used a phrase. You talked about relational integrity. Are you saying that the governor did not manage his relationship with you well? Did the two of you discuss your plan to unseat him?
I don't want to dwell on my personal relationship with the governor because then it beclouds. It's salacious. You know, people like salacious gossip. They probably would want to nitpick and find out what exactly happened. Nothing happened on a personal level. As I said what I said. And as I said, many other people walked away quietly. Or they just refused, just stopped coming. So that should tell you something. It wasn't just me. That said, I am not running because I have a personal problem with him. I just think that the government can do better, and I think I can do a better job of this. Did I discuss my plan to run with him? I tried to. I made efforts to see him, but you know, like anybody who's in the cabinet would tell you, it's not always easy to see the governor. So I booked an appointment to explain to him, to present my letter of intent and my letter of resignation, and you know, so we never really discussed it. But he didn't give me the impression that he was going to run a second time because there was an opportunity I had to discuss with him how the government was being perceived. Because my work is information and strategy, right? And information and strategy means you not only give information out, you also get a feedback from the people that's how I understand communication to be. You're not just talking at people, you're talking, you're speaking to them and also getting the feedback. So my work was to get feedback from the government and from the people to the government. And on one of those occasions, I tried to tell him that, things weren't really rosy. People weren't really happy. Party members were very unhappy. But I also didn't get an opportunity to explain to each other, and they just dismissed it.
So you mean a special advisor? You couldn't assess your own governor?
Can we?
Okay, let me vary the question.
Can we talk about other things?
Are you interested in the position of the governor of Ogun State because of these rumors going up and down that maybe the governor will not get a second term, that he will be disqualified, and he may not win at the primaries? How strong are your chances, really? Because you must have had some of those rumors.
Well, I have heard, like you. How strong are my chances? Very strong. I've been so amazed by the reception that we've been getting from the people on the streets, in the villages and the towns. People have almost literally owned our campaign and carrying the banner for us. We get offers of help. We get calls of support. We are buoyed by the... sometimes when something overwhelms you, I'm really overwhelmed by the kind of support that we're getting from the people. Don't worry, I say, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, just keep going, so that's really good. Did I run because I thought that the governor was going to be disqualified? No, it wasn't in my permutations. Before declaring, we did a SWOT analysis of this process, and it was more positive than negative. And as I said, strategy is one of the things that I do best. So I didn't just jump into this without thinking it through. I had a lot of sleepless nights, and I did a lot of work, a lot of research to see what our chances were. And I realized that people were ready for change. They want a woman governor. Ogun State has always been a pace-setting state. And it is really, really looking good. As for whether...
The community of enlightened people. We
are indeed, indeed. Very educated and very enlightened and very forward-looking, I must say. You asked a very valid question. Do I think that the governor will be... what was it you said?
Disqualified.
Disqualified. Well, some people are calling for his disqualification. Apparently, there's this petition that you also must have seen, that many people have seen. I saw it just like everybody else. Will it be disqualified? I don't know. But the optics of the and I really can't speak to the substance of the allegations because I really don't have the facts, and I don't want to say anything that I don't know. But for me, the optics of the whole thing I find very disturbing. In political scandal management, this is a scandal. Whatever it is that they're taking is an alleged scandal because we really don't know what happened. There's still some things in the public domain that we have not really verified, that government agencies have not verified, so we really don't know. But what concerns me is how this has been handled and how it has continued to be handled. In political scandal management, how quickly and how honestly the candidate responds to charges of a scandal is key to keeping him viable. In this kind of matter, the best thing you can do is to determine all the facts, get everything out there in the open, and make this a 1 or 2 day issue. Don't let it drag. Don't play the ostrich. Don't act like it will go away, because it won't go away. Don't hide the candidate. The practice is, if there's any truth to tell it early, tell it all, and tell it yourself. Tell it early by dealing with it with dispatch. This rumor has been going round for about 2 months. It was an open secret in Ogun State. Everybody, not only in the whole of the country. Tell it all. Tell everything. Don't hide behind subterfuge and legalese. And then tell it yourself. If somebody said I had done something, I would stand up and call a press conference. I said, no, I did no such thing. And I'll present my facts. Because if you don't and you play the ostrich, it's not only the scandal or you think that it will go away or I can go to the courts and then, make this thing go away. It is not just a scandal that upsets people when it comes to political things like this. It's the lying, it's the hypocrisy, and the attempt to hide behind legal jargons and processes. People are not stupid.
I asked you the question, what are your chances? Because it will appear that at the moment, Prince Dapo Abiodun is the one in charge of the APC party structure in the state. Okay? But you may say, well, that doesn't matter. He fought a battle against Senator Ibikunle Amosun in the last, congresses in your party. He managed to, take hold of the party structure. And yet you say your chances are strong. Who are your sponsors? Maybe there are some hidden godfathers who are, giving you the confidence that you can beat the governor at the primaries.
Let me say that this thing called party structure. I'm sorry, I'm a TV person and I see my blouse is a bit skewed and it's giving me concern. The party structure is a very ambivalent word. What is a party structure? It's people, right? First, I believe that the party leaders will provide a level playing field for all candidates. In Ogun State, for example, I know our leaders are tending towards direct primaries. Direct primaries. And if it is direct primaries, all party members have a say. It's not just the delegates who are planted, as people know, by the governors. And that's the thing that the National Assembly members were fighting against. It's not just for the governorship candidate. If the people who are planted by governors get to have a say, have the final say in who flies the party's flag, then where's the internal party democracy? That means if you are not in the good books of the governor, you don't even stand a chance of running. But in Ogun State, as I said, our leader, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, has always said that we should have direct primaries. That way, everybody stands a chance because then you just go to the people. I've been going to the people. I've been moving from towns to villages, having meetings in the evenings, having meetings during the daytime, coordinating with. We have our own campaign structure now. We build from the ground up, and then it will be a shame to do all of that work and then play into the hands of someone who used party resources or whatever, the power of incumbency to set up. And that, by the way, is one of the problems that we have in Ogun State. You see, the party structure, people have structures. All party, you were in politics. Party leaders have people who go there, Babakekbe, who greet them, who rose from the wards, who are councillors, who are chairmen. So they have their own leaders in different communities, right? So we leveraged on some of those structures to get into office. But no sooner did this administration get in, that those structures were torn away from the hands of the people, and people were actively planted. There were court cases in Ogun State during the last elections against imposition. People were actually, people who won elections in some wards were removed and other people's names were put in. In our ward, in Iperu, for example, some of the ward members took the sitting governor to court. I'm not saying it's in the papers. I'm not just saying it's in the public domain. They actually took the sitting governor to court because of this problem. And that problem is festering in the party, which is why I'm saying, there's a lot of unhappiness. There's a lot of unhappiness in the party, among party members, which means that people want a conciliatory candidate that can work across party lines. Beyond that, our party in Ogun State is very divided. Very divided. We have at least 3 factions, at least. Because even one faction is factionized, has factions, has sub-factions. So you want a candidate who is not divisive, who is conciliatory, who can work with everybody so that our chances can be brighter. Ogun State has always been a progressive state. And we realize that the other party is gaining followership because of what's happening. So if you don't have a party, if you don't have a member that can carry everybody along, even your party members will do what they call anti-party activities.
Okay, well, I mean, it's good to hear that you've been having meetings, you've been holding consultations and all of that. Because I was a bit worried when you declared first week of March, you went to the Adire market at Ashiru. Instead of going to the stadium, you were talking to a small crowd. Instead of playing the game the usual way, whereby you go to the palace, of a traditional ruler, or you go to the stadium and you bring people from all the 3 senatorial districts and you address them and you show that, look, you have that grassroots momentum. Why that strategy? Talking to batik Adire, makers.
It was, as I said, it was a strategy, as you rightly observed. I wanted to be seen as an independent candidate. I didn't want to start from, some of the party leaders, because of the kind of politics that we play, I didn't want to put them in a position where they were going to start taking sides from the very beginning. Please note, though, that I didn't just declare, I mentioned to party leaders, very key party leaders, that I was going to run, and nobody discouraged me. That should tell you something. Nobody said don't run because we have a sitting governor who has to go for the second time. Nobody said so. Not only did they not say so, they actually encouraged me and gave me tips. So, but I also knew that I couldn't put them in a position where they would be required to take sides publicly. I didn't want that. I really didn't want that. And I wanted to make my own way. I wanted to show that I had political value. And I wanted to build from the ground up. So we're a populist, it's a populist movement. And these people that you mentioned, they have owned this campaign because they realized that we care about them. I didn't just declare, I took interest in what they're saying. I am an ambassador of their trade. And women, not only women, market men and women, and the hardworking but oppressed people of our state are just carrying this banner and taking it forward. So I really didn't want to do, the usual thing. And it's working. You said something now, you said, who's sponsoring me? I just laugh when people say that. Because I'm sponsoring myself. I don't have, and I'm very honest with people. I say to them, if you're going to support me, you're going to support me in I don't have the money that the governor has. I don't have the money that so and so has. And they say, don't worry, we're supporting you anyway. So it is working. I am spending a lot of money, even despite that, because you have to do media. And you know how campaign financing is, Ruben. The candidates carries everything. You even have to support your supporters to attend meetings, which is crazy. It's another topic that you really need to interrogate and discuss, maybe not just with me, but with other people. The campaign financing in Nigeria is one of the reasons our polity is what it is. But that's not the question they asked me, so I'm not going to dwell on it. But we're just trying to do things differently. And we see that it's working because people can see our honesty of purpose. And I'm being very, very open. I'm being very frank. Accept me as I am. And people are willing, people are accepting me as I am.
I see you are driving home the point in a very nice manner. You are in the studio in Adire Batik attire, just to make it obvious that you are
we make the best Adire in Ogun State. We make the best Adire in Ogun State. And it is something that we will make a global brand when we become governor. You'll see what we'll do with it. You will see what we'll do. The whole value chain, there's a plan already in place for us to take what we have to the heights that we know it can get to. A full plan for the whole value chain, from the fabrics to the dyeing to the sales, everything, complete total branding. You
mentioned the campaign finance. So when you pick the expression of interest form and the nomination forms on April 27, I was like, oh, so Modele has been pretending all along. I didn't know that she has so much money. So 50 million, you've paid that now. Then you know the campaign process, even the primaries process, that was who got money. Where is the money coming from?
Ruben.
Because you say you are spending your money.
Ruben, let me say to you, first of all, I didn't pay 50 million naira.
Oh, really?
In our party, the All Progressives Congress, our great party, has been very kind to women. We only pay for the expression of interest form, and that is 10 million naira. Oh. So the men pay 50 million, we pay 10 million. And so I didn't pay 50 million naira, I paid 10 million naira for the expression of interest form. That said, where am I getting the money from? You know, Ruben, we're all Johnny. No, wait, no, I didn't say that. I sweated before I got it. You know, but you know, what people don't remember really is that I stopped being a full-time journalist in 2003, August 2003. That's a long time ago. After that, I went on to be head of sponsorship, Globacom's head of sponsorships for West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, and Benin Republic. After that, I was director of marketing for the American University. I've since then done a few trade, you know, buying and selling and businesses, and so and God has been kind. I'm able to take care of my bills. But you know, it's not. I don't have the kind of money that politicians have. I have enough to start what I've started, and I'm very encouraged. You know, I woke up this morning to a text message. Please send me your account, and I'll send some. It was a small amount of money, but I realized that people can see that I need help, and they're offering it already. You know, and that's the third time, unsolicited. Small amounts of money, you know, but little drops of water make a mighty ocean. I'm hoping that, you know, going forward, more people would assist us, and we can run a decent campaign, which we are doing already.
Well, let's talk about this. Your posters being pulled down on the streets of Ogun State, and your allegation that you have it on good authority that is Prince Dapo Abiodun, the governor, that has given the directive that your posters should not be allowed to stand anywhere in Ogun State. Well, Kunle Shomorin, the spokesperson to the governor, has denied this. He says the governor is innocent. The gentleman, Unifade, who is in charge of the Ogun signage agency, has also said that he's not aware. He did not give any directive that your posters should be pulled down. That maybe you went and put your posters in another person's space. And that was why the aggrieved person removed your posters. But as government, they did no such thing.
It wasn't posters, Ruben.
Banners.
It was a billboard. No,
billboard.
A billboard.
Okay.
A billboard.
Campaign materials.
You know, when you give people posters to pay, they put it in all kinds of places. But because I had done this before, I'm a marketing communications expert. Outdoor, sponsorships, advertising, PR. That was what I did for 7.5 years in Globacom. So I know what the rules are. And I gave those rules to our people when they were going out to go and paste posters. So they were not going to be pasting posters in public places, in public offices, for example. They had the rules. That said, what was taken down was a billboard in one of the most strategic places in Abeokuta. We paid a registered agency. And we asked them, we hope we are not owing government any dues, no fees. And they gave us their word. And they put these things up. After about 2 or 3 days, our team members came and said those things had vanished. The people, the company said, no, they're still up. But they went and saw that he had. But we did find out that our sources in the agency itself told us that there were orders from above, from the governor's office, that nothing of ours must be seen in the public space. And the company was so intimidated and bullied that they offered to give us back our money. which we have not collected, because as I said to them, I said the Electoral Act 2022, Section 95, subsection 2 says a government agency, a government apparatus cannot be used to the advantage or the disadvantage of any party or any candidate. So I told our lawyers to write them a letter. I wasn't going to collect any refund. Not necessarily because I wanted to be troublesome, but because this kind of impunity cannot be allowed to stand. You cannot, if a company is offering us back our money with regrets and say, we are under pressure, just come and take your money, we don't want any trouble. We know where this is coming from. And this is not the first time this kind of thing is happening in Ogun State. It's always been the culture. And we're saying this has to stop. There's a sense of entitlement that I see when people get into power that frightens me. They begin to think that they own the government, not forgetting that they're occupying the seat that they're occupying at our pleasure, at the pleasure of the people. They begin to think that all of the agencies and apparatus of government belong to them. And people encourage this thing by going, I don't know, they're acting like, oh, there's so much fear, there's so much apprehension. Why the fear? Why? We can't live in fear. We can't continue like this. We can't continue like this. And if the body language, even if somebody didn't say what I said, they said, if the body language of the person in power is no opposition, I must not see anything, everybody's going to make sure that that's the case. The only reason they're saying what they're saying is because we made noise. And everybody was like, people are okay, we saw this thing, why are they being taken down? Some of the balls that had not been put up, they actually said they were not going to put them up anymore. I mean, this is a state where the governor is, I'm not the only one running against the governor, by the way. There's another gentleman who has since come out. His name is Junior Payemi. But every nook and cranny, all of the government-owned billboards, every space in Ogun State, there's the governor's billboard on boards paid for by government, declaring for, campaign materials, not just this is what the governor did. And on every median, there are boards placed by people that I know from experience were not paid for. But here we are, we paid out of my pocket. And our materials were being torn down. I thought I was no threat to anyone. Why would our materials be torn? Why ours specifically? And these things were properly removed. And it's not like they tore it down. Properly, unscrewed and taken down. We're no fools. But, I'm glad that they said that is not the case, so we can go and put back our campaign materials. So all's well that ends well.
Well, that's if they don't remove your additional.
Okay. No. They've already said that they will not remove it. So
how it is done. When you paste your posters, they will be watching you, the opposition. Then at night,
no, if it's opposition,
they will send some boys out. They will remove all the posters.
No, see, don't worry about that. As they're removing it, we're putting them back. We offered to put this one back, but the contractor was so frightened. He wasn't even going to take a replacement. As I said, he offered us money back. That's how intimidated and bullied they were.
Okay, let's talk about national politics within your party. In the papers in the last 2 days, even today, there have been controversies about what the chairman of the party, Abdullahi Adamu, I saw him on TV, it was at the Labour thing, what he said about zoning. He says, well, the party has not taken a position on zoning. And the Arewa Youth Forum, ACYF, they have kicked. They said, no, there's an understanding among major stakeholders in the APC that the presidency has been zoned to the south. The aspirant from the Middle Belt, who thought this was the time of the Middle Belt, he himself has said, well, he will withdraw until when the party is ready to be fair and just to others. So that controversy about zoning, what's your reaction to it? Because the chairman of your party is saying it's beyond him, he's just chairman of the party. that, you know, it's the entire party that will take a decision about zoning. Where does that leave, you know, some of the aspirants from the South in the APC?
I really don't understand what the controversy is about, because as the Yorubas say, what you said is what people should comment on, not what you were planning to say. You know, there's a Yoruba saying like that, Nkoto so kilowi lanwi, not kilolowi. So he has not said anything. He hasn't. Our party chairman hasn't said that this zoning would not be as agreed. Governor El-Rufai, before the convention, said that the positions have been, you know, have been zoned. The
PDP formula has been adopted.
So it has been turned around. So reversed. So, and there's nothing that has been said in the public domain that contradicts that. If he said that, I think it shows leadership that, the party chairman is now consulting more with the party members before a final word is said on zoning. That said, maybe what he meant to say, as I said, I'm not in his mind and I'm just thinking. Maybe what he meant to say is that it has not been micro-zoned to either the south-south, the southeast, or the southwest. You know, it could be anywhere, but there's still micro-zoning in politics. I'm sure you know that. Zoning, and at the last count, Ruben, about 12 candidates have expressed their...
13 now.
13 now.
Fayemi has joined.
To contest. Shiwaju Bola Tinubu, VP Oshibajo, Honorable Rotimi Amechi, Governor Dave Umahi, Chris Ngige, Ojus Okalu, Rochas Okorocha, Emeka Wajuba, former Governor Ibikunle Amosun, Kayode Fayemi, Ben Ayade, Governor Yaya Bello. All of these people, except Governor Yaya Bello, are from the south. Whether southwest or south, which shows, and so nobody from the core north has come out to say they want to run, unlike what's happening in the other party, where everybody's saying so it's a free-for-all, and they can't even make up their minds how they're going to move forward. All of these people are from the south, whether it's south-south or southeast or southwest. And then, it's only, as I said, only Governor Yaya Bello is from the north central, which has also not ever produced a president of Nigeria. So it shows you that our party, the gentleman's agreement is still being honored. It's still going to be honored. So I think people should take it easy and wait for party leadership to say the final word on zoning. It's my belief that what the party chairman was talking about, or maybe is micro-zoning, or where exactly the president will come from next time.
We have to wrap up now. If we can do this in just 1 minute. If you were to win the primaries and you become governor of Ogun State, what will be your main agenda, priorities, if you can just outline them?
Employment and wealth creation. Employment and wealth creation. Employment and wealth creation. You know, I said it 3 times. Infrastructure development and security. Those would be my priority. And education. Those would be my priority.
Well, thank you very much, Modele Sarafa-Yusuf, for joining us on this Live, the Sunday talk show, on the other side as a guest.
Thank you.
I think it will be interesting to have a woman, as governor of Ogun State, and also as president of Nigeria, or vice president, or governor in any part of Nigeria.
So that will be a big pleasure to prove that women can be fantastic governors.
And we need to play the politics of inclusion, which is one of the major lines in the vice president's message to organized labor today in Abuja.